Do the Cats fall, and how far? Robbo?
Hang on, I just like the question mark after fall. I don't know about this how far. I don't think the Cats fall. Last year's preliminary final team, 3 players.
Probably should have played in the granny.
Yeah, very much so. They're going to lose Pods Yardley, and I think Pods was in trouble anyway. Chappie's gone. Chappie's contribution last year other than the final was minimal.
Played 7 games, didn't he?
Yeah, and he had a really good final when he kicked 3 goals, I think, in the first half. And Joel Corey, who you confused with him, Corey Enright, for the first 7 years of their career. Remember that day at work? He said to me, "These Corey." I don't know the difference between Joel and Enright.
These 2 players.
But he was a really, really good player. So they're going to miss those players. But the core at Geelong, and I was going through the team, Mackie, Taylor, Lonergan, then you get in the midfield. Joel Selwood, James Kelly. I mean, really, really good players. Bartel will probably play back. Steve Johnson is an exceptional player.
The question is, you're right. They're all guns.
I don't think they'll fall.
Is the hunger there? Do you think the hunger's still there?
The hunger's always.
It does dissipate.
They've had circumstances which mean they've lost.
Just historically.
Can you lose that many great players in 2 years and it not at some stage affect you? Even for a year, dip down, then come back up again. I mean, you think of the stars that they've lost from that side. At some stage there, they're going to have 3 or 4 injuries, and all of a sudden, Matthew Scarlett or Cameron Lingy's not going to be there to bail them out. I don't see them falling to 10th, but
this is the part.
I don't think they're in the top 3 contenders.
Vested interest.
And I would take the empirical evidence that there are 2 areas where they actually can improve. One is Hawkins. Is Hawkins going to be back to his best and fairest form of 12? That would make a huge difference. And the other is the ruck. Will McIntosh, as that he was the player they recruited for it? I think they well knew he wasn't going to play last year. I think they were stung bitterly by the preliminary final loss, and they watched the grand final and felt like they'd let something slip. So I think that will answer the question about intent. But then the questions are, is Smeds going to be the player that they thought they recruited?
Murdoch, there's that whole.
I think Josh Caddy's going to be the
They always say they like their kids, and now they're going to play them. So we'll find out.
I'm with Jared. I think the key bloke in the team is Hawkins. I mean, Hawkins was a cripple last year, and we know the previous year how good this kid can be, and he should be actually in his prime now.
Fox Footy's 4 scribes discussing all the important footy issues over a couple of beers down at a pub in South Melbourne. This time they were talking about what 2014 holds for the Cats. Will they fall? And NAB and Fox Footy are giving away 18 grand over 18 days. The question today is, can the Cats win the premiership in 2014? All you have to do is jump on the website foxsports.com.au/win. Tell us in 18 words or less. Make sure you get your answer in by noon tomorrow. That's Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. And you could be $1,000 richer. And that's the question I'm asking you, Spud. Can they win it in 2014?
Durability is going to be the key, Jace. Obviously, they lost Vardy for the year. Stokes, Motlop, Christensen, especially those latter 2, out for a long period of time. Selwood had an injury interrupted pre-season, may have done his hamstring tonight. Hamish McIntosh hasn't played since round 7 2012. If they can get all those players up and running and play good football, yes they can, but it's very difficult to win a premiership when you've got 5 or 6 injuries leading into round 1, expecting to get those guys back. So that's the thing for me, durability. If they've got that, they can definitely win it, because last year Chapman got suspended, Enright was injured. They were a kick off the grand final, so we know they're not far away, but they need a bit of luck now.
Tell you what, they've got a battle on their hands tonight as well. It's half-time here in the NAB Challenge. They lead Melbourne by 5 points. We've got plenty more coming your way from Traeger Park Oval here in Alice Springs in just a minute.
Taken away to the dark side, I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat, God, you gonna sing the words.
It's one of Fox Footy's award-winning shows, AFL 360 with Gerard Whateley and Mark Robinson, and it returns next Monday night at 7:30pm. That's Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Don't miss it as they get into everything that is football. Well, here at Traeger Park Oval in Alice Springs, it's a tight one, the NAB Challenge game between the Cats and also the D's. 5 points the margin in favour of Geelong. But there was something very interesting, Spud, that happened early on in this game, and that was Joel Selwood with what looked to be a hamstring strain. So Barry Hall has gone down the rooms where I believe he was denied entry, had the door slammed in his face.
Surely
Baz,
not.
what's going on?
I was going to kick the door down, boys, but look, they're just gone into their meeting room behind me. Pretty good vibe down in the rooms for the Cats, but the big story, as you mentioned, is Joel Selwood in the right hamstring. He did have a bit of compression on it, so wasn't too much ice, which tells me it's not too serious. Might be just a bit of a strain. He seemed in pretty good spirits himself, so I wouldn't be thinking it's too much to worry about for the Cats fans. He's got a week up his sleeve also. On the other hand, Melbourne, they went out into the refrigeration room, the cool room out the back, so they're certainly feeling the heat up here at Alice Springs. So let's see if that plays a part in the second half, boys.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the use of the cool rooms there. And it was a very lonely figure there on the bench, Joel Selwood. We hope it's very minor, Spud. But having that extra week, the fact that they do play in the second week of round one, you probably think he's more than likely going to play round one.
Well, if it's grade 1, I reckon he'll play round 1.
Yeah.
If it's a grade 2, that's normally a 4-week injury, which puts it line ball. So they're lucky that round 1 goes over 2 weeks and they play the second week.
All right, just 5 points in it here at half-time. It's Geelong leading Melbourne. All the action of the second half coming your way right after the break. And keep an eye out for the return of Open Mic, some of the best interviews with Mike Sheehan. They return on March the 10th.
We all know of high flyers and crash landings, but in the world of AFL, few have endured such a dramatic fall from grace as has my first Open Mic guest for 2014. Ricky, ready to roll?
Let's do it, Mike.
Open Mic returns Monday, March 10 on Fox.
Sun is setting here at TIO Traeger Park Oval. It's a beautiful night now. That breeze has really come up and it's cooling everything down for not just the players but all the spectators that have come in here tonight. Melbourne have used the cool room and they got out there very early after half-time to get set for the second half. And this year in the NAB Challenge, well, they're proudly supporting Red Cross. You can make a donation with funds going to a variety of programs, including disaster relief and recovery, which supports those who've been affected by bushfires and natural disasters right around the country. To support Red Cross, simply make a donation, redcross.org.au. The margin is 6 points to the Cats as we get set for this second half. Now, Hamish McIntosh is still there for the moment.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to play because you would think if he's accusing the racket, go and have a shower. So he must be feeling good.
8 interchange, no subs in this heat policy game. It was 33 degrees just before we started. But a beautiful night now here. So can Melbourne continue with this comeback, or will the Cats take control once again? Third quarter underway. Might just fall here for Caddy, but he's beaten to it by Vince. Nathan Jones, Tyson and Tumpus combining. Clisby just slides off the outside of the boot, unfortunately for him. It's taken by Thurlow. Now Varco. Tough one from Varco for Hawkins to mark. Well picked up. Caddy. Johnson goes back. Thurlow off a standing start. Wanted Hawkins almost. Beat to and found him. The big man tries to bust the tackle. Just handballs down onto the ground. McDonald slices through with his handball. Watts. Tyson. Impressive young man from the Giants. And here's Tumpus. Goes for the second man in the queue. It's a good kick.
Good load as well.
Yeah. Hogan. Similar kick down the line.
Very good kick again. Now, long kick quickly gets a one-on-one for Fitzpatrick. He doesn't want to go there.
Burns. Well, he hits out in the lead of Spencer. Thurlow went up, came down without it. Big Dawson Simpson wanted to give off, and he did. Smets through the middle. Varco with time and space. That's dangerous. Floats it forward. Not his best kick. And it's out of bounds, so still no score.
It was an interesting decision by Jack Fitzpatrick. He had the option of a one-on-one against Dawson Simpson.
You have to come up.
When it wasn't forthcoming, he then just doubled back inside 50 and left Dawson Simpson there, who then made a 2-on-1 to where the ball was kicked. Fitzpatrick had to stay up and make the contest.
Well, the Melbourne player couldn't kick the ball 80 metres. He's got to read the play.
Stevie J's involved here. Spins around twice. Nathan Jones has now got it, and he's down. It comes out. Tyson.
So just for my own sanity, Matty, because I'm sure I wrote down the score as a 5-point margin at half-time when we went downstairs. They actually changed it at half-time.
The last kick.
Oh, it was a goal.
For a point now. Touch there. The last kick just on half-time was counted as a score.
So they made that adjustment at half-time.
Yeah.
Thought I was losing it. Probably still am.
And you're asking me about Saturday?
Can't lose it when you've lost it.
Oh, Baz, who ran on your case?
Baz is still a bit upset he didn't get in the Geelong rooms at half-time. He thought he was just going to waltz straight in.
Slammed the door in his face.
Got the cold shoulder.
Here go the Cats again after that done error. Caddy sets it up for a big jump or a spoil. It came from Grimes. Johnson. Varco giving ground. Go further back. Lonergan got it from Thurlow, and Lonergan's kick looking for Bartel over his head. And again, it goes out. Geelong doing all the attacking at the start of this third quarter. Bartel come up on the plane with us, didn't come up with the rest of the group.
Interesting.
Simpson down in front. First to it though by Tyson, getting plenty of it. Giorgio, not a lot of room to move there, but gee, found the lead up again
Good
from
kick,
Hogan.
isn't it? Yeah, this is the kick that's been troubling him. It's the
Fitzpatrick's
leg
led now, that's
forward.
better. That's a lot better.
And he's got a runner inside in Vince.
1-on-1, Jeremy Howe up forward.
Tumpus squeezed that through, saw Burns. Here's the one-on-one situation. Howe leads. Well done, Melbourne. That's good transition.
Well, see, even though it's Harry Taylor back there defending, it's impossible for a defender, Spud, as you would know.
Yeah.
He's following his man back towards goal, and then he turns around and leads into an open 50 wherever he wants to, with the bloke delivering it with no pressure.
But more importantly, Jack Fitzpatrick come at the ball then. And he got the right result. He marked the ball, Hogan to Fitzpatrick, handball in, shot a goal.
Howe has two, and the wind's got hold of that, and that wind's picked up.
Yeah, it has.
So Melbourne, they kicked their first behind.
My apologies, it was Blitzards who was trailing him there.
It wouldn't matter whether you're David Dench and Matty Scarlett and Steve Silvani wrapped into one with that kick and the amount of space he had.
Hunt on the burst for Geelong. The lead-up player is Bartel. And they've got good support here. Bitzarves gives it off to Varco. 75 metres out, no one home. Is this going to put it out in front and let it roll? It rolls the wrong side of the post.
Simpson had worked hard. If he actually looked laterally, a 50-metre kick would have found Dawson Simpson about 40 metres out from goal, all on his own.
And Hamish McIntosh, he's up and about, boys. He's about to come back on. He's just waiting for a guy to come off. So he's done his half an hour work, but being that long out of footy, he's probably chomping at the bit to play every minute he can.
Sometimes they're the hard decisions to actually say, you've got through, that's enough. That's the program, let's not push it.
Clisby for Melbourne. Just a kick to no one in particular, really. And it was an easy one for Jared Rivers to collect.
Yeah, well, he loves that high ball, Rivers.
He's going to send one in himself. And he'll turn over on it. Hands in the bag.
To Melbourne.
Alex Giorgio takes the free kick. Umpire was in good position to spot that. And Giorgio goes to the outer side where they've been successful so far in this third quarter in finding their targets. This is Daniel Cross. Matt Jones. There's Nathan Jones just to his left. And in the end, he chipped it further afield to Trengo. Now he's going to try the switch. It's the long kick. Turlick. Trengo up the middle. Has to be careful here. And he found his man, which was McDonald.
Good possession style play for Melbourne, though.
But again, it's all across half back, and this just, I mean, Geelong are happy for them to do this because they know eventually they'll make a mistake.
But this is a big improvement on the last couple of years, though.
Absolutely, yep.
Just a handball from Watts was down low. That could have been away there.
And you're right, when you're over-possessed, you give the opposition more chance to get a turnover such as that.
And here it comes from Geelong. Brown onto the chest of Duncan, who's within range. It'll be a 6-point play.
He can make the distance easily from there if he wants to.
Just let it ride on the breeze.
He's a good long kick of the footy anyway.
He's had a good game, Duncan. 18 disposals. He's kicked a goal. Players go down. Duncan puts it up. That's how it works. That's spot on from Mitch Duncan. That's how you kick a goal. We've seen some really good kicking here this evening in Alice Springs. And Geelong get out to a 13-point lead.
Well, he's probably their best player, isn't he, Mitch Duncan? Terrific game. He's at the 9 handball receives, 6 inside 50s, 2 goals, 19 disposals, some contested possessions. You can just see the errant handball there that creates any turnover. And think about, we know Geelong, when you possess out wide and they turn it over, their first look is inboard, and it opens it up for, it's very hard to defend as a defender when you turn the ball over and Geelong come through the midfield such as that. That's a great kick.
And they've moved the ball very quickly when they've had the opportunity, the Cats.
Going at 87% by foot too, Mitch Duncan.
Yeah, his stats are good. Back in the middle, Melbourne win the clearance through Vince. Out in front of Burns, that's very good clean down low. Like to see that. McKenzie, Vince again, hitting Hope. Big Thurlow, Smets, big bodies went out. Jansen, Holland Smith.
Good defence, Tom McDonald.
Yeah, he got on, he spoiled, didn't give the free kick away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Melbourne to tidy up. Whoops. Oh dear. Not a good handle from Bale. He's frustrated. He gave it straight to Murdoch. And on the way back, he is so good overhead, Jimmy Bartell.
Look at Harry Taylor in the goal square.
Well, Rowan Bale just ran himself into trouble. And he'd run too far. He needed to bounce, kick or hand pass. When a hand pass, it went straight to the opposition player.
So Bartell is for his first score of the night and to push the margin back out to 19. We've seen some very good set shots tonight. Players have used the breeze well, and there's another example of that. That splits the middle, and the good kicking continues. And the Cats 2 in a row.
Well, if you took the errors out of Melbourne's game plan, and look, football is a game of errors, but Geelong have kicked 10 goals, 8. But there's 6 goals, 6 that come from turnovers. So Melbourne had the ball first, and Geelong have really made them pay. And that's the deflating thing. That's what Paul Roos will be able to show his players. Look, we've controlled the ball, we've controlled the tempo. But if you're going to over-possess, you want to make sure your targets are absolutely spot on. There's not a better team in the competition to kick goals from turnovers too, by the way. So they're getting a good lesson on what happens if you do turn the ball over. Because if you play against probably a lesser team, they might get hurt on the scoreboard. Get away with it. So if you're playing, all due respect to a couple of developing younger teams, they mightn't hurt you on the scoreboard. So at least the coaching staff of Melbourne can look at that in isolation, show to the players, look what happens when you do turn the ball over.
Jansen involved again. Holland Smith. And they combine. Hunt to Jansen. Pushes it wider to Rivers. Here go Geelong again. Confidence is back and they're up and running. Well, that's no good kick from Billy Smets.
I think Harry Taylor's actually pushed forward.
Yeah, he's just having a play forward and he'll enjoy that.
Done. Switch to Nicholson.
I think Smets looks like he's playing a little bit down back.
Yep. McKenzie, Tyson. Just got to find the next one here. Over possessing it. McKenzie again. Mitchie looks up, couldn't see anyone.
Just under pressure. Yep. You miss a hand pass, you fumble, make a wrong decision, and you create opportunities for the opposition.
Caddy tried to keep it going in the right direction. McDonald with
fumbles.
That puts you under extreme pressure.
That's the last place you want to fumble the ball.
Yep. Mitchie, another chance. Little chip over the top. Beautifully taken by Jones, but again, just gave it up.
Errant handball.
Yeah, this time McCarthy gets it from Kelly and drills it in low to Varka, and they'll make them pay on the board once again.
Yeah, no one to blame it themselves, mate. They had plenty of opportunities to do what they wanted with the footy then and just mucked around with it.
Well, I went short to a contest that was just never on. So in that area of the ground over the far side, it's okay to play the short kick, but when someone's right on your hip, just drive the ball long, especially when you're 30 or 40 metres out from Geelong's goal.
Varco for the set shot. And if the move continues, he should slot it through. And he does. Goal to Geelong, and all of a sudden, that 6-point margin it was at three-quarter times now 25. 13 of the 18 goals have been left of screen.
And then you talk about a 25-point margin, yet we often look at the numbers, but to look at what story they're telling us. Talking about Melbourne overusing the footy, they've had 60 more possessions than the Cats.
Yeah.
Now, that's something you'd probably like on paper when you think about, well, if we've got the ball more than Geelong, they're probably not going to hurt us too much. But they've been having far too many possessions in their back 50, which haven't taken the pressure off the defence, and eventually the turnovers are killing them.
And Travis Varco started this quarter extremely well. He's had the 6 disposals, 1 goal, 1. He only played the 14 games last year, but all Geelong scores this quarter is when Melbourne had the ball first.
Yep. So goals to Varco, Bartel, Duncan. Geelong move forward again. Here they go. Big Dawson Simpson sees a man on the lead, almost to Hawkins. Second effort required. Got boot to ball. Cut off though by Nicholson. They go back again, and they're under pressure again. Cats will come up with it here. Murdoch to Jansen. Wanted the free kick. Played for it.
Should have been dropping the ball, I would have thought.
Grimes back to Dunn. It'll float towards the line. Mitchie decides to keep it in.
Did well.
Yeah. You just get around his man and find a target, but they're going back again. Here's Geelong with that pressure. Blees. There it is.
It must be, I tell you what, you'd be frustrated in the coaching box. I mean, Paul Roos wants them to win the footy. They're winning plenty of footy. But it's what they're doing with the football. It's their execution. A lot of it's to do with the decision-making as well. There's still a lot of work to be done.
Well, what will happen if they keep possessing like this? They'll be picking players that actually kick the ball and make really good decisions.
Yeah. Caddy, Hawkins gets around and spots Walker. Yeah, he spots Walker. Beautiful kick from Hawkins. Just saw Walker had the height advantage and was on the right side for him. Just put it out to his advantage.
Well, being a key forward, Tom Hawkins, he knew exactly where he would want the ball. And that's the ball to space. He identified where the defender was and then kicked the ball to the advantage of his teammate. Oh, look at that. You cannot defend that.
Josh Walker. Now they really need to come back with the breeze, and it does.
Guys, where do you see Josh Walker in the scheme of things at Geelong?
Well, look at the size of him. He's a big unit.
Yeah.
Look, they need some tools up there at this stage with Pods going to Adelaide. I think you just need a presence up there. We know what Tommy Hawkins can bring to the table. You need a presence up there, someone who's going to really give you a target and bring the ball to the ground. You've got Christensen, you've got Motlop, you've got Stokes down there who can all crumb goals. You just need a real presence down there, someone who's going to really make a contest. Kick goals, yeah, that'd be great, but you need a real presence up there as a key forward, and he certainly gives you that.
So they've got some tall options there, and let's not forget Mitch Brown, who kicked 3 early.
Yeah, he's got 3.
He's the one that they probably said was leading the race for that extra tall, given his pre-season form.
Cats have kicked 4 in a row here. Time for Melbourne to stop the bleeding. They can't here in the centre circle. Johnson again. Duncan's cutting through. Trying to keep it alive. They may still end up with it here, Geelong. Varco sweating on the tackle. Hall Smith there. Tyson to try and clear. King. Tyson didn't have it. McCarthy off a step. Hamlin is still going. Brown. Varco just flipped it back. Oh, not much room there for Giorgio. He's in trouble. Varco trying to cross it now. Comes off a shin, and then we have a boundary throw.
Well, it's just all Geelong at the start of this quarter. I think it's nearly 9 inside 50, sorry. 14 inside 50s to 1 this quarter.
And as we see there, boys, Hamish McIntosh, he's done for the afternoon. He's gone in for a shower. On a negative note, he got through the game and he's going in for a shower. That was all going to plan. But on a negative note, Jordan Schrouder, he's got the tracksuit on as well. Let's hope that it's not injury, because that's certainly something Geelong don't need.
Just saw Hamish McIntosh there in the rooms. It looked like Jason Dunstall. I thought you had to have a look at the head.
Looking in the mirror, spot.
So we'll keep an eye on that. So Schroeder in the tracksuit, together with their skipper in Selwood.
They can't afford too many more, can they?
No.
Got a horrid run of injuries.
Advantage taken by Melbourne. Here is a chance. Hogan.
Again, Howe 1 out with Jared Rivers.
Just put it on his head. Oh, the Hogan's kick for Watts. And he's going to have to go again.
Done well, Jack Watts.
Wanted the free kick, didn't get it. Thurlow with a big switch. It'll be one-on-one football, one-on-one contest here. McCarthy first to it. Runs away from Clisby. And kicks it out on the full.
It's going to be interesting to see what Paul Roos does with Jack Watts, whether he's going to keep him that utility type player, lock him down at centre half forward, or put him in the back line. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with him.
Tyson goes very wide and backwards to Giorgio, but this loose man's been set up. It's Daniel Cross, hard running from the veteran, and then he ran so hard he dropped it. And here is rebound footy at its best. Brown on the end of the Varco kick, 70 metres from goal, waiting for some targets to get in there. Johnson for 9 points, and it's going to stay out wide. We haven't seen a lot of misses so far tonight. Johnson has one.
Well, it's one-way traffic at the moment, isn't it? And you mentioned that it is the scoring end, but certainly Melbourne can't rely on that to make a last quarter comeback. You can see Paul Roos down at ground level. He would be as frustrated as any of us looking at some of the options and some of the skill executions that we've witnessed, throughout the course of the game, but getting worse in this quarter, I think.
Through King's hands, but again, Shannon Burns was nice and tidy at ground level. Jeremy Howe, bit of an option.
Fitzpatrick one-on-one, just go there.
Or he goes shorter. Hogan. Burns was going past, but Hogan didn't take it. Messed it up though, Geelong. Spencer to Howe. Wider. Blease has Watts. There's a man a bit wider. Blease has spotted him, and he chips it out wide and across. Inside 50. Daniel Cross for the first goal for Melbourne in this third quarter, and the former Bulldog doesn't let his teammates down.
Well done. Well done to Daniel Cross too. 14 disposals. They needed that goal for their confidence, the D's. It looked like Geelong were running away from it.
The concern about that goal, though, Spud, is exactly what you've been saying most of the game. It was an extra possession that they didn't need here.
Yeah.
This one here from Bleach, he should have kicked it straight away to where Cross was. But it's that extra hand pass, that extra short possession that is just, flirting with danger and a possible turnover when he could have gone the longer option straight away.
Took Daniel Cross, one of the senior players. He's actually going 100% by foot, so he hasn't wasted a disposal. He's at the 15. What a great player to have at your club for all the young Melbourne midfielders. The work rate. I'm sure he's
just the instructions he's been giving all night. Just wheels there.
There's no stone unturned in his pursuit for excellence.
Plenty of players around the ball. Umpires giving him plenty of time to get rid of it. Now Jake Spencer was down there low. It does come out now. Paul Smith for Geelong. Blitzarves. Jansen. Good lead. Was hoping for handling. Turlick's in trouble. Couldn't get his arm free. Couldn't get it out. Now it's out. Now Melbourne have it. Vince to Cross, the two new midfielders combined, to Trengove, who wants to settle it down.
Well, he did have a good lead from Howe, but ignored it. The trouble is, if you ignore the leads that are coming up the ground, then when you hold it, there's no players back to give you another option because they've all led right up the ground there, virtually where you are.
This was the target. Matt Jones scoots in to pick it up to Nathan Jones, and they're just static here, Melbourne. Geelong set up very well defensively. Nathan Jones keeps it low down the line.
Oh, that hurt. That would have hurt. That's a decent clip.
Tumpus is down.
He's on report.
Billy Smets is on report. Jack Spencer's not happy.
I don't know that I'll be keen to have Big Jake angry at me either the way he came in there.
Big lad.
That was a decent whack to the head.
Let's hope he's okay.
I'm not suggesting it was deliberate, but certainly heavy contact. You be the judge, Spud.
There's a better view of it. It's very high contact. And here's another look.
I will say this, his eyes were on the footy.
His eyes never left the ball.
But it was a crude spin.
Yeah, it was. It's head high, but being in that situation a lot, his eyes never deviated off the ball.
I reckon you would have done that a few times.
Look,
and you thought, you know what? If I don't get the ball, I'll get whatever's there.
Yeah, but
you can understand
there's not once
why this reaction happened.
Yeah, I know, I get that.
So Tumpus doesn't take the kick, Blease does. And he went into the pocket looking for Shannon Burns. It was a low percentage play.
Yeah. He should have marked it, though. He should have marked it.
Smets will clear. He's trying to spoil the ball. It was reckless and clumsy.
Crude's a better word.
Ball ricochets from the contest. Johnson, handball down. Taylor Hunt, Johnson up, and he gets one high.
Straight up, straight up. Steve, you got the free kick, let him go. Thank you.
Blees wants to go on with it. And Johnson goes straight down the ground.
Dangerous kick.
Hawkins.
High risk, high return.
Back on it. Now, umpire will say that I'll have it there, as we're 4 minutes remaining in this quarter. Billy Smets to the bench after being reported. Jansen, the young Western Australian, getting some time in the middle, around the middle. Caddy, it'll bounce. Varco, beaten short by Watts. Taylor put the head down and drew the tackle, drew the free kick.
The thing about Josh Caddy, he takes the game on. He's such a big body. He's had sort of been disposals, but he gets the 60 inside 50s because he takes the tackler on and forces that ball in. And as a midfielder, you know, when you get into third of possessions that are actually going inside forward 50, you're very dangerous.
Bit of fun happening out there, bit of push and shove, but Harry Taylor.
Normally a very good kick, Harry.
Yep, he's kicked one. Needs to start it at the right-hand post and let it work back. Like that.
Yeah, perfect.
Another fine finish from the Cats in front of goal. To that end.
Yeah, kicked like a true defender. And they've had the 9 different goal kickers. The Cats. Let's have a look at the free. Yeah, just clumsy. Always shoot from the hips. When you're tackling that situation, it's a reflex. You've got to bring your hands down from your hips in. When your hands are already up around shoulder height and someone's running past.
A little cuff around the ear.
Yeah.
Jimmy just said, "You know who you're dealing with, champ?"
He's a champ, Jimmy Bartell. Harry's got 2 goals going forward.
It's been impressive, the set shot kicking tonight.
It's been excellent, hasn't it?
I think we've got a very consistent win. The players have worked it out early and they've used it to their advantage.
From the bounce, Simpson.
Follows up pretty well, Dick Dawson.
Big man, isn't he?
Long way to bend over to get that ball.
Yeah. Barry, you're on top of things at the Geelong bench.
Yeah, look, he's got a bit of ice, and look, he got through the game, which is a real positive for him. He played a little bit more than 30 minutes of footy, but he has ice, and hopefully it's precautionary. Hopefully it's precautionary for him, and it's nothing too serious.
I thought he moved well, Baz. You know, you're at ground level, but I think when he was coming off the ground, Chris Scott said 30 minutes before the game, he played 46, but he looked like, you know, he was spent physically, but he didn't look like he was carrying anything.
Well, that's exactly what you want in your first game, is to really blow out. That's the only way to get match fitness, is to get those blowouts, and I think he played 46 minutes, so a bit above what he was planned to play.
Bartell couldn't quite get proper kick away there, but they've got a sweat on the Melbourne defenders. Nicholson's won. They want the turnover.
That's better. Good run and carry out of defence.
Indeed.
And take by Hogan.
He's been impressive, Jesse Hogan.
I think Melbourne could break it up a little bit now and again by taking the game on out of defence. I like the way they've possessed it out, but sometimes just take the game on and force Geelong to come at you when you're running with the ball.
Young Don Barry
Good running,
a couple of times there. Here's Jake Spencer inside 50. Barry goes past him.
Oh, he said, I'm going for the big one.
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And we're right behind him. No, he just fooled everyone.
That's clever.
Yeah, that's good play. Tringo has it. It's a tight angle.
You found his game tonight, Josh, Tringo.
It's just battle. You know, he works. So the one thing you get with Jack Tringo is you get a great work rate. He's got to find his best form. We spoke to him prior to the game, and you know, he doesn't have to worry about the leadership this time around. Just his own preparation, get himself into the game as well.
It's a difficult angle. Breeze will just take it though. It's a pretty good kick. Again, the set shots continue. Gee, it's been good to watch.
And a beautiful drop punt. They didn't need to do anything fancy.
Nothing fancy. Straight through.
And I was impressed with big Jake Spencer. Just did very well, Jakey Spencer. Thought he was going to kick it.
I think the big one was the fact that I hadn't really lived up to my potential so far, so I really want to
get the most out of my footy and be playing as well as I think I'm sort of capable of. So that was the big one, and just to sort of take a bit of a back seat and let someone like Nathan Jones step up in my place, and hopefully it just relieves a bit of pressure and I can worry about playing my own game while still focusing on making sure the team.
So that's Jack Trengo. Just talk about stepping down from the leadership and focusing on what he needs to get the best out of himself as a footballer.
So it's back to 26, but Melbourne kicking their second for the quarter. Here's Cross.
Very good interview.
Jones. Cross, diving handball back to Matt Jones. Whoops. Whoops.
That's
probably the fourth one in that area of the ground.
But each time they've done those really bad ones, they're virtually kicking the ball backwards into their own defensive 50 to a player that's not really, really clear.
And into the breeze as well. They're going across that way, which always going to hold the ball up.
We saw Roosie frustrated before. I'd love to have had a camera on him when he saw that kick.
Well, he's about 20 metres down the road here at the moment.
So Bartel for his second of the quarter. Good run up. Runs inside 50. All clear, 6 points for Jimmy. And he's had a good quarter.
He certainly has. It's been a good response. It's been a good response from Geelong this quarter, because look, Melbourne dominated at the end of the second quarter. You just wondered whether Melbourne, the youngness, the youth and the exuberance of the young team was just going to follow on. But Geelong, as we know, are a very good team.
Just having a joke. They were having a bit of a push and a shove before, and now he's probably just saying, even your teammates are kicking it to me. How are you going?
You wouldn't be feeling good at the moment, Nicholson, would he?
Some of the turnovers have just been diabolical, though. So much to work on for Melbourne, but the positives are still shining through.
Trengo back, hoping for Cross. He was hoping for Jones. Cross dives on and just taps it out towards McKenzie, who committed himself, won the free kick.
Oh, no. Wow,
Geelong.
That's tough.
He went down low.
Yeah, but I don't think he slid in. He actually sort of went down on his knee to pick up the ball. But, the interpretation of these rules, it's going to take a little bit of time. They're not easy. Or could he let a big barrel go down?
Barrel go for 9. I'll give him 12, Jace.
No chance.
Big barrel. He hit it okay.
Yep.
But in the end, it's been a very good quarter from Geelong. They dominated. They've wrestled the lead away from Melbourne when they briefly hit the front in the second quarter. They were supremely accurate in front of goal in that third term. So three-quarter time, Chris Scott will be pretty happy with what he's seen from his team. It's Geelong leading by 32 points.